We're all taught to spot wealth by the flashy stuff. Designer clothes, fancy cars, those incredible vacation photos. But what if the truly wealthy are basically invisible? What if the real signs of financial security are the things you can't see at all?
No, really, just for a second. What's the first picture that pops into your head? Probably a fast car, right? Or a massive house. Our culture has sold us this one very specific image of what rich is supposed to look like.
Exactly. We think wealth means showing it off with big, expensive things. But here's the twist. That's usually just a sign of a high income, which, believe me, is a totally different thing from actual, lasting financial stability.
And that's really the heart of what we're digging into today. Real financial health isn't loud. It's not about making a scene. It's built in the quiet moments, with these subtle habits that are so consistent they just blend into the background.
So, let's start at the very beginning. Because before we can even talk about money, we have to talk about mindset. It's a completely different way of looking at the world. And that is the key. It's not about some magic number in your bank account. It's a way of operating your life. It's about building a system that gives you control and just lowers your stress, day in and day out. This right here, this gets to the absolute core of it. When your goal is your own internal progress, building your own security for your own reasons, the need to prove how well you're doing to other people, it just kind of melts away. So this brings us to a really fundamental choice. It's all about the why behind every single financial decision you make. So think about it. Are your choices driven by appearance? Like, what will people think of this car or this phone? Or are they driven by stability? How does this choice get me closer to my own goals? One is all about that short-term validation, but the other is about long-term freedom. Okay, so how does this mindset actually play out in real life? Like, what do these people actually do every single day? Well, most of us, let's be honest, we spend based on emotion. Feel good? Buy something. Feel bad? Buy something. But financially stable people, they operate differently. They have a plan, a simple, kind of boring system, and they spend based on that plan, not on how they're feeling in the moment. For any purchase that isn't a total necessity, their process is all about one thing: adding friction, slowing it down. Instead of seeing something and buying it right away, they build in a pause. They wait, they do a little research, they compare. That simple delay is often enough to kill the vast majority of those impulse buys. And here are a few more clues you might pick up on. They're the ones who buy a really high-quality coat that lasts 10 years instead of a cheap one every single winter. They'll drive a reliable car for a decade because, hey, it still works perfectly. And when they get a raise, it doesn't automatically mean a huge lifestyle upgrade. It means more savings, more investing, more security. It's always about long-term value over those short-term thrills. Yeah, you're not going to find them chasing the latest hot stock tip or using a dozen complicated apps. Their approach is almost always, boring. They earn steadily, spend less than they make, and invest the rest consistently. Simplicity is what works because it's what you can actually stick with. Now, this is a really important shift in thinking because true stability isn't just about money. It's about managing your other priceless assets: your time, your focus, and your energy. Just take a second and actually think about that. How much of your mental bandwidth is being used up by things that just drain you and don't give you anything back? Financially stable people are absolutely ruthless about protecting their focus. They're good at saying no to things that don't line up with their goals. They actually build empty space into their calendars just to think. They even curate their social circles, spending less time with people who are always pressuring them to spend money. And this is why it all connects. It's almost impossible to make smart, rational decisions about your money if you're constantly exhausted, distracted, and just reacting to everything flying at you. Protecting your mental energy is actually a core financial skill. Who knew? So,
What's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's actually incredibly empowering when you think about it. See, real financial security is almost never built on one big moment, like winning the lottery or getting some massive promotion. Nope. It's built brick by boring brick, through thousands of small, steady, consistent choices made day after day, year after year.
And this is why consistency is the secret weapon. I mean, income matters, of course it does, but it's often way less important than the system you follow. A huge income with huge spending gets you nowhere, but even a modest income, when you pair it with a consistent system, that's what truly builds wealth over time.
And that, right there, is the most important part of this whole thing. You don't need a six-figure salary to start living below your means. You don't need some special degree to start waiting 24 hours before a big purchase. This path is open to anyone, right now, no matter where you're starting from. So, I'll leave you with this question. Forget about the lottery ticket, forget about some grand 5-year plan for a minute. What is one small, quiet, deliberate choice you can make today that your future self is going to thank you for?